Hi folks, welcome back to the Carver's Wood Shop. I have a new project for you, just a one-clip project. It's for painting, okay? And what I did was I did a lot of these little chicks for Easter. I did quite a few of these. And what I'm doing is, when I was painting, I tried to get one ready to take with me up to Canada, because one stayed at St. Catharines this past weekend. And by the way, the show was great at Niagara Falls. I want to thank everybody up there that helped me do the interviews and all that. That was great. Thank you for allowing me to do that, and also to Jan for his Highway of Heroes. It was an honor to be able to videotape that piece that he was doing for their fallen soldiers as a remembrance. So great time up there, and a lot of great people up there. So thank you, Canada. I'll be sure to come up again in the fall. But anyway, let's get back to this. What this is it's a 2x4. Actually, my dad split this up many years ago. And what I have is I have a little pin, a little wild pin or a nail that I use to, and all I did was push it up in there. And you can see how I can turn it upside down and all that, and turn it around. It's great for a painting stick that you don't have to touch the item. And I thought, well, how can you use one of these and not set it somewhere when you want it to dry? So I thought, I'll take a piece of wood and drill some holes in it with a drill press, or you can use a regular drill, it's fine. And that they just stand up like they do, okay? See, there's one, and I have a 2-on-1 over here, okay? So how you make it, it's very simple. You just take your wood and find a dowel and a drill that's just a tad bigger than the dowel. You can make, I think this is a 1/4 inch dowel. It's not real large, and you can buy that for like $1 at a hobby store. Then I use these nails. Now these nails that I used is a 1 1/4 by 16. It's a wire brad, it's called, and I paid a long time ago. You'd probably pay $1.30 for this today. And what it is, it's just a small little nail with a little bit of a head on the top, okay? And see how far I actually put that in there, okay? There's the bottom of the nail. That's how much I actually took a hammer, and I hammered them in the end of the dowel after I cut them. And then what I did was I took it to a grinding wheel and just grind that down to a point. Okay, and I did it on the side of the wheel. You know, if the wheel goes, I would be holding it like this and turning it. You know, you can turn it this way too on the wheel, but I like using the side of the wheel. It's a little bit easier to do, and because you wouldn't be able to put that in and be able to push that into a carving at all. It needs to be pointy and sharp, and these are sharp, so you want to be careful. If you do any of this, folks, make sure you have goggles on when you're using this, you know, in case one of these flies out, or you know, the debris from grinding. Make sure you have your safety equipment on. And the other thing is, the reason I only did them this long was about the length of my hand, okay, sideways, and I have a little bit taller. I have it drilled about a 1/2 inch down into the 2x4 that they'll just stand on their own, okay, so that they can dry. But I didn't want it too short that you had to reach and you might hit it, so give yourself plenty of room to be able to pull it out and put it back in. So you have about 3, maybe 3.5 inches from underneath that to pull it out. The other reason I don't want it real long is when you're turning this thing upside down, you don't want a long stick in the way, possibly hitting any of your paints and stuff. You don't want it real long, alright? So it's a nice little easy way that you can put a bunch of them together, and like I have here, you know, you can put 3 in a row, and you can space them out a little bit so they don't touch. There's a little bit of a play in it, that's okay. They're not traveling anywhere, they're just sitting there to dry. And so you can pick one up, work on one, put it down, do the next one, okay? If you have a bunch of them that are kind of the same thing like what I'm doing today. I think I have about 6 of these that I'm working on. And all. So it's a nice handy way that you can carve They're easy to make. You can make as many or as little, as big as, you know, you can do a small one if you want. You don't need to make it as long. This is about 10 inches long. This is about 18 inches long in the back. You know, and you can put as many holes. The other nice thing I did with this one is I put more holes on one side in case I had more projects to do than just this, or you can space them out, you know, whichever you want to do. So it's a nice handy way of doing it. Just make sure you have your safety gear on when you're working with your power tools in the shop. If you're sawing anything or you're grinding these things, especially grinding these, you don't want any metal or anything in your eyes. Okay, folks, so I hope that's helpful, so you can just take it out. The other thing, real quick, the other thing I like about it is when I pulled this out at least 4 or 5, 6 times. Okay, it's nice and snug. When you taper it off like that, it's nice. You want to make sure you have that bevel where that point is a little bit tapered. You don't want it real blunt at the end. It won't go in as easy. But when you first put it in, just twist it and turn it when you put it in, and then let it go. Alright, and then turn it and twist it when you pull it out. That way you won't pull the nail out of the dowel. If you want to make the dowel and the nail a little more secure, I would put a little dab of crazy glue right on it, let it soak in there to harden it up a little bit. But I must have put this in, folks, oh, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 times. And see, it's still nice that it still doesn't fall out. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful to you if you're not if you don't like painting, or if you do like painting. It's just an easier way of doing things to make it more enjoyable, that you don't have it all over your hands. Okay, folks, thank you very much for joining me here at the Carver's Woodshop, and soon we'll have another project going. Alright, take care and have a wonderful, wonderful Easter weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.